Hi everyone, welcome back to Studio Sydney Pilates.
Today we're doing a challenging but very effective lower body hip Pilates workout focused on glutes, inner thighs, and deep core. Repetition is everything when it comes to muscle growth. It's not about doing one move perfectly one time. It's about repeating strong, controlled sets so your muscles can adapt and get stronger. So today we'll be cycling through exercises more than once, and I want you to treat every round like practice. Get sharper, deeper, and challenge yourself a little bit more each time. Grab your mat, no equipment needed, and let's get started.
Let's start by waking up the body with squats into calf raises. So coming down nice and low into your squat, lift the heels into a calf raise, lower the heels, and then rise back up. Again, inhale, we come down, lift the heels, exhale, we lower and root down into the heels to rise. We're here for 60 seconds. Again, inhale, we lower, reach those arms long, biceps around the ears, and then exhale, we come back up. When we're down in that squat, reaching forward, can we draw the ribs down and in, still activating through the abdominals? 30 more seconds here. Awesome work. And then we're going to hold it down in our squat with our high half toe, with our calf raise, and find little pulses up and down, rooting down equally into all 10 toes and the balls of the feet. Those quads and calves really firing up now, reaching long with the fingers. Almost there. Can we come down a little bit lower, still drawing ribs down and in, engaging through the abdominals for 10. Awesome work, you guys. Okay, let's come down to our 4-point kneeling position. For the next exercise, we're going to be on our elbows. So elbows underneath the shoulders, palms facing the ceiling, knees start underneath the hips, and then we're going to extend that right leg straight back into a nice long line. We're going to draw rainbows with the toes. So you're going to bring that right toe over to the left side of the mat, tapping the floor on the left, and then exhale, we lift the leg, inhale, lower over to the other side. So we're definitely going to feel our quad here as we lengthen long through that right leg. We're going to feel our glute as we lift that ankle up, engaging through glute max. But we're really going to feel our obliques here. So I want you to try to stabilize through the hips, keeping the hip bones square towards the floor. So we're using our obliques to stabilize. Awesome work. For the next one, same leg, we're going to start with that right knee under the hip and then extend it straight back up. So think about making a nice long line through the body, lifting that right ankle well above hip height to engage through our glute here. Again, we're not losing that stability through the hips, so we're keeping the hips square and still. Squeezing that glute at the top. Make sure that we fully extend that right leg so we're engaging through the quad as well. Inhale to lower knee under hip. Exhale to rise back up. For 5. Awesome work. This one gets quite heated. When we're working on lower body, these are big muscles in the body, so they really warm up the body fast. Let's extend that left leg out and we'll do everything on the other side. So again, drawing those rainbows first, tapping the toe from one side to the other, making sure we're getting height in that leg to activate through our left glute now. And again, can we keep that leg long? So actively engaging through our quad. 20 more seconds here. And again, just notice abs really working here quite hard to stabilize. Awesome. And then let's bring that left knee underneath the left hip. We're going to go into those leg extensions now. Exhale to send that leg long, squeezing through that glute and quad. Again, we want to find height, so really lifting that ankle high above hip height, creating a nice long line from head to toe. Last 5 seconds, and strong here. 3, 2, and good work. Awesome. We're gonna focus on a little bit more through the abdominals for our next exercise. So you're gonna walk your knees back in space until our hip joint is open and we're in that modified elbow plank position with the knees down. On the exhale, we lift the knees up for a full elbow plank. Inhale to lower the knees, modified elbow plank. We're just tapping the knees down, so keeping that engagement through the core. When we lift the knees, really tuck the tailbone under. So think imprint or tailbone tuck to keep this work in the abs and not the lower back. Squeezing the quads at the top, almost there. This one's super heated, it's not easy. Push through it. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower, almost there for 3. Awesome work, you guys. Let's come on to our elbow. So we're gonna come onto our right elbow. We're gonna work on inner thighs on the right leg, on the bottom leg. We're gonna bend through the top knee, left knee, bring that foot behind your right leg. We want that bottom leg, the right leg, as straight as possible. And then on the exhale, we're gonna lift that leg up towards the ceiling. So again, we're working here on inner thighs and quads through that right leg, keeping lots of space between your right side body and the mat. And then that left hand can just come onto the hip and really draw that left elbow back in space to keep your chest open and proud. Abs turn on here to stabilize through the hips. Inhale to lower right leg to the floor. Exhale to lift. We're here for a full minute. I want you to focus on keeping that leg long. So pointing through the toes, squeezing through that right quad. I know we're feeling the burn here. It's tough work. Let your breath help you out. So inhale, lower, exhale to lift. Awesome work, everyone. Okay, let's come over to the other side. So coming on to your left elbow. So right leg is going to be bent behind your left leg. Left leg is extended, point the toes, squeeze the quad, and then same thing on the other side. Again, can we bring that hand onto the hip and draw your right elbow back in space so that we're opening up through the chest, focusing on lengthening through that bottom leg, through the left leg. So pointing the toes, squeezing the quad the entire time. Notice your obliques here turn on to stabilize through the hips as we lift. So we don't want too much rocking through the torso. We don't want to be lowering that left side body in towards the mat. We want to try our best to keep the body still. These are the type of exercises in Pilates that might not be focused on core. It's not a core endurance exercise, but we're using our abdominals to stabilize. So this is the difference between a regular workout and a Pilates workout, is that we're focused here on form, we're focused on control and finding stability through the hips. Okay, I know it's burning, almost there. 5 more seconds. Okay, awesome. Finally, we're gonna go into our abdominal endurance. So lying supine on your back, your hands are gonna come behind your head. Let all of the weight of the head go into the hands. Elbows stay really wide. Tuck the tailbone under, and then we go into those toe taps. So knees stay at 90, and we're just tapping the floor out in front of us. We're focused here again on stability, drawing ribs down and in, and keeping that little tailbone tuck. So we don't want too much of an arch through the mid and lower back here. Good. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. We're here for 60 seconds. This is our last exercise of our first round. We're going to do those same exercises 2 more times. Repeating exercises in multiple sets is obviously a very common way to build muscle. We do it for a reason. A lot of athletes do this for a reason. It's because we need to train that muscle multiple times, especially in a session, to actually be able to rip or tear the muscle for regrowth. So although traditional Pilates is amazing for still building a bit of muscle and finding posture and alignment and mobility, Pilates HIIT really allows us to build more strength and power by building those muscles progressively. Okay, so coming back, again, we're gonna do the same exercises over. They're gonna feel progressively harder as we go on. So really allow your breath to help you out here. Ready? Let's come down into that squat. Lift the heels high, lower the heels, root down into the heels to rise. Inhale, we lower, lift the heels. Exhale, we lower the heels, root down into the heels to rise. Focus here on reaching those arms long, drawing the ribs down and in when we're in that squat position, especially. Can we get a little bit more range through the ankle joint? So as you come down, you don't need to rush it. Come down, find that stability, and then lift right onto the balls of the feet equally. So pressing equally into all 10 toes and the balls of the feet when we come down. So we're not supinating or pronating. We're coming up with that neutral ankle joint. Good, 20 more seconds here. Again, focus on that range. So can we go nice and low in those squats, lifting the heels high as we come up, 10 more seconds. Good. On the next one, we're gonna come down, hold our squat, stay in our high half toe and pulse up. Focus on reaching those arms up, so biceps come towards the ears and we stay down nice and low, rooting down into the toes. I know it's burning through the quads. You've got this. Again, let your breath help you. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. We're almost there. Woo, push through it. Yes, 2, 1, and we're all done. Good work. Let's come on to our 4-point kneeling. Again, elbows underneath the shoulders, palms facing the ceiling. We want the wrist shoulder width distance apart, elbow shoulder width distance apart. Let's extend that right leg back, squeezing the quad, pointing the toe. And then again, we find those rainbows. So tapping from one side of the mat to the other, using our obliques to stabilize. Actively squeezing through the quad, pointing the toe to find that length. Good, and then we go into our bend and stretch. So knee under hip, exhale to extend that right leg straight back. Can we lift that ankle nice and high? So coming well above hip height to find our glute max. Awesome work. We're really feeling that heat through the body here. And let's move over to the other side. So right knee goes underneath the right hip. Extend your left leg straight back. Inhale to lower and tap. Exhale to rise. 30 seconds on this side. Three, 2, 1, and let's bring that left knee back underneath the hip and we extend straight back out. Squeezing the quad, pointing the toe as we lengthen. Awesome work. And then up next we have our elbow planks. You're gonna walk your knees back in space, so opening up completely through the hip joint. Again, really tucking that tailbone under. So think imprint here, okay, especially as we get fatigued. We might feel the lower back trying to kick in and do a lot of the heavy lifting. I want you to keep this in the core. So keep that strong pelvic tuck the whole time. Almost there, about halfway. Ooh, that's hard work. I was definitely sweating at this point. Let's come back down onto our right side again. So finding our side lying position to prep for our inner thigh workout. So again, coming onto the right elbow, left leg is bent with the toe with the foot behind your right leg, pointing through that right leg, exhale to lift, inhale to lower. A big part of this exercise is keeping your quad engaged, so keeping that leg lengthened. Okay, so do your very, very best to keep that length. It's a lot of work. We have to actively squeeze the quad, point the toe. Again, exhale to rise, inhale to lower. Notice here again, as you're getting fatigued, if your waist wants to kind of laterally flex, so drop down towards the mat, I want you to keep lots of space there between the side body and the mat. So keeping abs, obliques engaged to stabilize. Halfway there. Awesome work, everyone. Let's swap over to the other side. So coming on to the left elbow, right knee is bent behind the left leg. Left leg is long, so pointing at that left toe, squeezing at that left quad. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Awesome work. Last few seconds here, and then we end off with our abdominal endurance exercise. So again, lying supine, hands behind the head, elbows wide. Squeeze those shoulder blades together, draw the ribs in, find that pelvic tuck, so imprint, and then we go right into those toe taps, keeping knees at 90 degrees. Okay, really focus here on letting the weight of the head go into the hands. That does two things for us. Number one, it engages the abs a little bit more. And then number two, it keeps the work out of the muscles at the front of the neck. So our sternocleidomastoid, our SEM muscle, is a very strong muscle. It tries to kick in a lot when really our abs should be doing the work. So really try to let your head relax into those hands. Again, elbows stay wide. We're almost there. Woo, okay, last round. Let's push through this last round. So muscles are tired, body is heated, but we're not going to compromise in our form. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, reach the arms long, lift the heels, lower and rise. Inhale to lower, lift, exhale, root down and rise. Good, last few seconds here. On your next squat, we're gonna hold it down nice and low. Keep those heels lifted really high, rooting down equally into the balls of the feet. We pulse. Those quads are really firing up here. They've taken a lot in this workout. We're building them progressively. Good work, you guys. Okay, coming down into that elbow plank, elbows underneath the shoulders, palms facing the ceiling. Draw those ribs down and in. And we start with our right legs, drawing those rainbows, keeping the back of the neck long. Again, keeping that stability through the torso. So especially in our last round, when our muscles are fatigued, I really want you to focus on those postural cues. So hips stable, leg long. Your breath is gonna help you out to push you through this last round. Use it. Good, and then full leg extensions. Exhale to send that leg long. Inhale to bend knee under hip. Good work, and over to the other side. So left leg goes long now. We extend and squeeze through that left quad. Inhale, lower. Exhale to lift up higher than hip height. Last couple seconds. Okay, last one here. I know this one really heats up the body quickly. Exhale to extend that left leg long. Inhale to lower. Exhale, rise. Inhale, lower. Don't let the neck drop. Keep the neck long. Abs on. Good, last one. Awesome work. And our last plank exercise of the day, you should be very proud of yourself. This is a very challenging workout. Tuck the tailbone under, exhale, lift the knees up, full plank, inhale, lower. Can we squeeze those glutes and quads at the top? Again, tucking that tailbone under, really focus on that pelvic tilt to keep this work in the abdominals. Inhale, lower, exhale, rise. We're almost there. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, sweating a lot at this point. Okay, let's come down into our side body. So right elbow underneath the shoulder, left knee's bent behind the right leg, squeezing through that right quad, point the right toe. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. We're here for a full minute. Keep that right palm up towards the ceiling. Especially as we get fatigued, sometimes the body wants to find shortcuts, so we don't want that shoulder, that right shoulder, to be doing too much of the heavy lifting when it comes to stabilizing the upper body here.
Last few inner thigh reps on this side. Great work. 2, 1. Beautiful. Let's come over to the other side. So coming onto our left elbow, elbow underneath the shoulder. Right knee is bent behind the left leg. Point the toe, squeeze that left quad. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Again, just notice if that left palm wants to turn down to let the shoulder help a little bit more than it should be here. We're still focused on form and posture even in our last round. Awesome, we're so close. Keep that quad engagement. We've just got one more exercise after this. Awesome work, everyone. Let's finish today strong. Lying on our backs, hands behind the head, elbows stay wide, shoulder blades in retraction. And we end off today's very challenging exercise with those toe taps. Again, think about shortening through the front of the body, ribs to hips as we tuck the tailbone under. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Last 10 seconds of our heated workout today. Great work, everyone. Last 5. And we're done. Amazing. This was so challenging. Definitely building a lot of strength in the lower body and core with this workout today. Let's end off with a few stretches for our glutes and hips. So keep your left knee bent, cross that right leg over to the other side of the left thigh, and we'll find a gentle twist, reaching that right arm behind us, pulling that right leg into our body with the left arm. So really lengthening through the outside of the hip. And then for a nice hip opener, we'll cross that right foot. So coming into our stacked log position, right foot goes over top of left knee, right knee stacked over left foot, and then we'll hinge forward with a flat back to open up through the hips. Good, and then we'll extend that right leg out so the left foot is up against the inner right thigh. We'll come to a forward fold. First, just opening up through the chest, placing that right hand wherever you're comfortable, your foot, shin, wherever you feel a nice deep stretch. And then we'll sweep that left hand over so we're in a full forward fold, chest to the floor. Good, let's do everything on the other side. So crossing that left foot over to the other side of the right thigh, finding that twist, pulling your left knee in towards the chest to open up through the outside of the left hip. And then again, stacking that left foot over top of the right knee, left knee over right foot, and then lean forward. Try to keep a really flat back here, length through the back of the neck to open up through the hips. Good, and then lengthening that left leg out. We'll start first forward bend, keeping the chest open. So just holding on to that foot, shin, or knee with your left hand. And then forward fold, deep chest to the floor, other hand wraps around. If you enjoyed today's challenge and my form-focused cues, subscribe and like. I'll be posting weekly. Thank you for being here, everyone. Have a great day.